Hello and welcome back. Yes, after a 2-year absence from posting a video, I think, here's a short and sweet one. Check out our data set. People have always wanted to know why or what was the waist size of a person on Mars. And now we have the answer, 50. Clear and cut, sorry June Ipper snail from Mars. That's not all muscle. What we're going to learn in this video is a story of a worksheet function, specifically sum, average, max, a named range, and some VBA code. So hopefully this helps out. But first things first, a libation break. All right, so what we're going to do again is we're going to utilize a named range and then a worksheet function. And specifically with the worksheet function, we're going to bring it into the coding window. And basically once we're happy with the end result, we're going to pass it through the immediate window to see it visually as well as the worksheet. So for those who are not familiar with an Excel object model, how we're going to break this down is we're going to break it down to a worksheet and then a range. So first things first, we've defined our worksheet. We're going to set the object, which is, worksheet equals this workbook dot sheets and whatever sheet you're working with. And then further, we're going to use this worksheet to then define our range. Now, what you've noticed is if this looks strangely familiar to a recorded macro, it is. Joke's on me, I recorded this one just to show you what it looked like. You can also utilize a more specific one, which I think is a little bit easier to work with in the future by, if you know the data set range or address, you can set your range object and then you're going to name it, which makes things pretty simple. And you don't have to do is refer to R1C1 equals blah 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 blah. Don't want to do that. Too much stuff. And too much stuff to type. Who wants to do that really? So what we're going to do is once we have effectively named our range in the workbook, we're going to set our range object. And then from there, we're going to use a handy dandy worksheet function. And how you get there is application, worksheet function, dot, and you'll notice your IntelliSense will show up similar to what happens when you're in a cell and you click equals and a bunch of formulas show up depending on what you type. So we're going to sum it, and what we're going to do is we're going to pass that function result to our temporary value, effectively called, or affectionately called, temp underscore v, temp value. And then from there, we're just going to we're going to display it in our immediate window, as we said before, and then we're going to pass through that value as well as adding a label to the cell in the worksheet. And then lastly, just to show that it kind of works, and then, for all those people who want to see backup for their solid figures, we're going to add the formula as well. And what you can also see is because we've named the range, when we use the worksheet function in the sense that you're probably most likely familiar with, we can utilize the name of the range rather than the address itself. So that's the first kind of hierarchy of how we're going to be doing this. And then what you'll see in my handy dandy, steps, no pun intended, because it terribly looks like a step ladder, is we're going to basically do the exact same coding piece for, the two other worksheet functions, the average and the max. The takeaway from that is, one, don't ever code in this type of format because it looks terrible and it's tough to follow, so make sure you clean that up. And two, it's very easy to have a schema of code set and then just copy and paste it later. So right now what we're going to do is, through the magic of television, we're just going to skip ahead and clean up the code to make it somewhat reasonable. And here it is. And then from there, we're going to step through, and you step through by pressing F8. And then from there, we're going to see if it works. Boom! I love those effects. They're so cool. And we're going to see that, one, our range is working. Two, our named range is working. and 3, our objects are getting passed through correctly through the worksheet function as well as the worksheet. All right, so here we go. It's all done. So everything seems to be working properly. Our worksheet has our check, has our formula. And yes, June Ypres snail still has a 50-inch waist. Incredible. Thanks so much for watching. Like and subscribe at the bottom. Leave some comments. I'll do my best to answer. All the best. Bye, guys.